Hi, my topic is the war in Afghanistan and whether the United States should still have military involvement within the country. And the war in Afghanistan can actually refer to the Second Afghan Civil War, which has been taking place from 1978 to present day. And it began with the Soviet war in Afghanistan, which stretched into 89 and then led to the Afghan Civil War, which went from 89 to 2001. But we're just going to talk about the war in Afghanistan that's been taken from 2001 to present day, which we've taken direct military involvement in. That started with 9/11 in 2001, which was a terrorist attack that Al Qaeda and Osama bin Laden organized against our country. And we wanted to get Al Qaeda as well as Osama bin Laden out of power in Afghanistan. And the Taliban actually had 90% of control in Afghanistan as of 2001, and that was due to the Afghan Civil War and that Al Qaeda had been backing them up in the Afghan Civil War so that they could gain that power. So Bush gave them an ultimatum stating that they need to give us Osama bin Laden and kick Al Qaeda out of their country, or we would take military action. And they obviously weren't gonna give up the people that supported them through the whole Civil War. So they obviously denied it, and this caused Bush to launch Operation Enduring Freedom, and Britain helped us with our military efforts as we went in 2001. The United States and our allies drove the Taliban out of Afghanistan into neighboring Pakistan, and once the Taliban had been driven out of Afghanistan, this led the United Nations to established the International Security Assistance Force, ISAF, which would be focused on rebuilding the government of Afghanistan, and NATO took control of this in 2003 in order to build a government that could withstand the corruptness of Taliban and Al Qaeda insurgents within Afghanistan. We've been fighting off Al Qaeda insurgents in the country since 2003 to present day, and Osama bin Laden was killed in 2011, I believe in May. However, Al Qaeda is still running strong with the support of the Taliban. Peace talks went between the Taliban and the Afghan government we've been building, but nothing really solidified when they talked in 2011. So the real question is, should we still have military involvement in Afghanistan? And we need military involvement in Afghanistan as of now. We need to ensure that Afghanistan is a stable country, and we need to lower the risk of future attacks as well as meet world expectations for our involvement. Much criticism has been towards our need to squash the Taliban government to solely protect the United States. For example, when Obama stated in 2008 that if left untouched, the Taliban insurgency will mean an even larger safe haven from which Al Qaeda will plot to kill Americans. So this is not only a war worth fighting, this is fundamental to the defense of our people. He was stating that we needed to send more troops in order to prevent Al Qaeda from rising to power in Afghanistan. However, there's been some debate of whether we really need military involvement in the country. And I read an 8-page article from the Council on Foreign Relations for your pleasure and found the quote that states military analysis estimate there are 25,000 Afghan insurgents with varying degrees of allegiance to the Taliban still within the country. And this basically states that with the government we have now formed in Afghanistan, the amount of insurgents in the country would easily be able to topple the weak government that we have established at this point due to a lack of leadership or power that we can find in the Afghan country. So on the other hand, we also need to realize that we're no longer the only country that has involvement in Afghanistan. An article from Canada.com states that NATO would like 8,000 to 12,000 military trainers past 2014. The countries that were willing to involve themselves in this effort weren't only the United States, but included Germany, Britain, Italy, Sweden, and Australia. Not just us. So we're not the only ones fighting this, and we're not the only ones concerned with protecting ourselves and protecting the threat of a terrorist organization rising to power in Afghanistan. And involvement is necessary for us to lower the risk of future attacks for all countries, as well as meet the world expectations. With everybody else taking part in it, we need to take part since we were the ones that initiated it. Thanks for watching, and that's why we need to.